Hi, it's Hollowaster, and we're back with another part of Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. I know it's been a little bit. I have been sick. I'm super happy about that. But I sounded terrible, and I was very sniffly. So I'm mostly better now. Little sniffly, but mostly fine. So now, we're back with more Wrath. I need to play Baldur's Gate soon, but Wrath has my heart. I love Wrath. So, last we left off, we finished the not Great Garrison, the Defender's Heart mission. Forget what that was called, like a Stay of Execution or something. We beat that, defended it successfully. The demons did not take over. So now we need to discuss the Great Garrison attack plan with Irabeth. And we need to gather allies for the attack on the Great Garrison. So the Great Garrison is where the Wardstone is, so that is our next goal. We need to also, eventually, visit the Nameless Ruins with Nenio, and visit the abandoned Houndheart's camp. Also, if we get 5 vials of magic essence, the storyteller can tell us more about the broken gold buckle that we have. Not too worried about that right now. We have the Outcast, so Kaelesa's schemes, and then visit Jerno in Chili Creek, so he was the cleric of Aristil. So we also need to level, but I'm gonna do that in a minute because I don't want to right now. So we're gonna go talk to Irabeth and see what she has to say. I thank you for saving the esteemed citizens of Canabris, even though not all of them deserve to be saved. May Iomade forgive my words. She casts a meaningful look at Count Arendelle, sitting at a nearby table. I don't really mean that, of course. I just never fail to be astounded by the way that good people seem to perish, while the not-so-good prove to be incredibly, amazingly enduring. So we can say, even so, the Count did offer me his aid. He can't be all that bad. Or, what's your problem with Dayron? Is there bad blood between you two? We're gonna say the top one. Yes, that's not like him at all. Joining the crusade is tradition among Mendevian nobles, but Dayron Arendelle was never too keen on fighting demons. The Count has a certain reputation in Mendev. He's not a pleasant individual by any means, but he's not known for any particular villainy either. He enjoys a life of leisure, surrounded by a gaggle of sycophants who are always eager to badmouth the queen at his command. He likes settling scores, too. There was a hero of the First Crusade, Sir Lant, a kind and honest man. After the end of his glorious career as a soldier, he became a wise mentor to the younger generation. He ran afoul of the Count somehow, perhaps by lecturing him about his idle lifestyle and lack of purpose. When Sir Lant died, the Count managed to buy a portion of his estate and ordered the knight's helmet to be reforged into a chamber pot. And of course, he didn't keep his little joke private. The queen was particularly affronted by it, because Sir Lant used to be her most loyal comrade in arms. I was there receiving an assignment from Her Majesty and witnessed the exact moment she found out about the helmet's fate. It's a small thing, but I could see the queen's anguish at the travesty that had been made at her friend's legacy. That's what he is like as a person. As for his talent for survival, do you know the story of Heaven's Edge? He was the only member of his family to escape with his life when the demons unleashed a magical plague at the Arendelle estate. So we can say, could you tell me more about the events at Heaven's Edge? I don't know the details. It happened a while ago, back when I was a mercenary and had nothing to do with Canabris. I only know that there was a grand feast in honor of him for his birthday, and all his relatives were invited along with a few other distinguished guests. Everyone died from a mysterious disease that someone had unleashed on the estate, including the servants, the guards, and a number of clerics and paladins. But the young Count survived, because of his healing ability, I suppose. Dayron does possess an unusually brilliant talent, even if the application of his skills leaves much to be desired. She scowls. So why is he trying to provoke the queen? Who knows? It could be a family matter. The Count is Her Majesty's cousin, twice removed or something like that. But I think he simply enjoys infuriating people, crusaders and Iomade's servants especially. Okay, thanks. My pleasure. I'm sorry you had to endure my grumbling. Watching these things happen to my city has put me in a foul mood. So now we've got lots of Irabeth dialogue since we're not, like, actively being attacked. So, I found Janet Aldori like you asked. Yes, thank you. It's good to have her back. We need every fighter we can get, she frowns. I suppose it's asking too much to want fighters that are sober as well. Definitely too much to ask. Okay. We're not going to ask what the wardstones are because we already know. Remember, they were placed here by Iomedes like Harold herself, and they keep everything safe from the demons. What happened in the tavern cellar? Something strange. A portal opened in the middle of the cellar, and a cultist in a terrifying mask emerged from it. Luckily, there were some hardened fighters in the cellar who stopped the cultist from slaughtering everyone here. One of Inevia's scouts knocked a rod from the cultist's hand, the rod I gave you. In revenge, the demon worshipper cast a spell and vanished, along with the same brave warriors who dared to fight against him. So that was the end of Through the Ashes. There's no sign of them since, not of those brave fighters or the demon worshipper. Witnesses said one of the warriors shouted that if a cultist wanted him, he should take him and leave the others alone. We don't know what he was referring to. So it was a kidnapping, not an attack? Right. Demons and their minions are always scheming against one another. It seems this masked cultist simply took advantage of the chaos to get his victim and drag him off. To what end, we still don't know. Whose cultist was it? He didn't look like a worshipper of Baphomet or Deskari or anyone we've ever fought. No one got a good look at the profane symbol on his clothes. But the rod he left behind clearly holds ritualistic significance. Which of the demon lords has mastery over ice and bones? I think I remember reading something about monsters like that, but for now we can only guess. Who were the fighters? A handful of townsfolk who had been held captive by cultists but escaped. One of Inevia's scouts was with them. Actually, it was he who warned us that cultists were planning to attack the tavern. The whole lot of them are made of stern stuff, I've got to say. Making it all the way across the destroyed city with minimal resources and equipment is a truly impressive achievement, especially for the civilians. What do we know about the poor soul who asked the cultists to take him and let the others go? Not very much. He was a gnome by the name of Sendri, not a crusader, but some kind of freelance explorer. He was able of casting minor arcane spells. One of his eyes was bandaged, no doubt an injury he sustained during his escape. Those who had the chance to talk to him would describe him as a good-hearted but scatterbrained kind of fellow. That's all we know. What the cultists wanted from him is a mystery. Okay, thanks. Allow me to ask a few personal questions. Frowning a little bit, she nods. Please, but I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Where are you from? I was born in Canabras. I grew up on a farm just outside it. But my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. How'd you become a paladin? A bitter smile appears on her face. I don't like to remember it. Believe it or not, the story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders. May their souls stand together in Iomedes' celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. But my father was an orc. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he, but still, all his life he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided, anywhere but Canabras. That was where my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters, led by the honorable prelate Hallrune, stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they'd have done to a strange girl with green skin? Instead, I went to a smirk that looks more like a painful grimace crossed her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Lastwall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted into a country that's been battling the orcs of Belkzen since its foundation. There were many like me there, but they were all treated as second-class citizens. We were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the power of a paladin, but even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized a simple truth. I serve Iomade, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them, so I left, as a paladin, but not as a knight. I'm sure you can imagine what it's like. In most places, tieflings are despised even more than half-orcs. Not in my homebrew, they're not, because that's dumb. How did you come to join a knightly order? I left Lastwall and went traveling. The goddess guided me, and my path led me to atrocities that were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the river kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters, tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was wasting time, and my true place was in Canabras, but I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back. But in the end, divine providence had brought me to my senses. It happened in Timon. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employer suspected to be a cover for Razmirian spies. some guy in their lore. I managed to find their lair, but inside I found something far more dangerous than spies, an unholy temple to Zon Kuthan. So Zon Kuthan, we will read, also known as the Midnight Lord, the Dark Prince, and the Prince of Pain, is the god of darkness, envy, loss, and pain. He possesses one of the most twisted and evil minds in the great beyond. His position as god of pain is well earned, and he has been the root of countless tortures, murders, and worse throughout time. He was once a benevolent demigod named Dor Brawl, but was corrupted when he traveled to the far, dark places between the planes and returned in his current form. His half-sister, Shellen, still holds out hope that she can redeem him, though the Lord of Shadows shows no sign of remorse or compassion. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone, the person who was destined to become my wife, Anevia, but that's another story. Imagine you roll up and you find a cultist den of evil, just insane people about to murder someone, and then you're like, let me save you, and also get married. Gay rights. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread all through all of Avestan, including Mendev. Worse, the documents clearly show that their allies at the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth had infested my native Canabris, and were even among the ranks of the Paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone. Anevia was as eager as I was to destroy the cultists. Anevia and I hurried to Canabris. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers said that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, she smiles warmly. She knew her way around working locks, tailing people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeders. Soon, we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its heads. You know who turned out to be the leader? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Prelate Halrun was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. But then, the scandal reached the ears of the Queen. At first, she planned to disband the order for disgrace, but then she offered its command to me, and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I made the commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. So we passed a low religion check, said, I can't imagine the followers of Zon Kuthan in alliance with demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? They should, but Baphomet's minions are masters of deception. They manipulate Zon Kuthan's butchers as eagerly as Iomede's knights. The cultists from that unholy temple didn't know the true farce of their associates in Canabris. We ourselves learned the truth much later, after getting to the bottom of their nest. How'd the people in Canabris feel about your background? They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced, as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently, the people that were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. Though the locals do have their superstitions, Mendev is as merciless as Lastwall. They just have a different set of victims. I keep seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers, but where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be on the other side of humiliation, to wipe the spit from your face and suddenly be invited to change position and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about tieflings. It's true that there are many of them among the cultists, and few among our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those that would be our allies. People shun them, call them a Relu spawn or worse, and if they choose to be born like that, I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Tiefling lore is so bad all the time. What do you mean the call of my blood? Shut up. Like, just because someone's like great ancestor was influenced by a fiend, it can be influenced in any way too. It doesn't have to be like have a baby with them. Doesn't mean that every child in that whole bloodline is just cooked for the rest of eternity. That's stupid. I digress. Still, most only see them as the enemy. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in my time at Canabris. Perhaps you will. I hope your example will show others of your kind that they are needed here. Perhaps looking at you, even some of the cultists will see that birth does not consign you to a life of the service of evil. Yeah. Tell me about Anevia. We met in Taman as I was wandering aimlessly from ordeal to ordeal. We returned to Canabras together to expose the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was our wedding. But Anevia isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then, the day Canabras fell. For her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the Defender's heart was the hope that I'd see her again. We are in your debt. They're so sweet. That was so much talking. So like I said, we're not going to talk about the Wardstones. We kind of learned a lot about the Eagle Watch already. So yeah, like this is still just about how like she came in charge, because there were cultists that were in charge. So yeah, we're not gonna read all that. So now we're gonna say, what is our strategy for the great attack on the Great Garrison? I shall lead the forces in a frontal assault. This will distract the enemy enough to let you use the secret passage and reach the Wardstone. Destroy it before the demons turn Iomede's gift into a weapon of the abyss. Most of your allies will have, most of the allies you found will join my forces, but you can expect a certain amount of support from them. The problem with Desnants is that you never know what to expect from those daydreamers. Rude. Their honorable prior, Ramian, claims he had a vision in which his goddess was putting demons to sleep. I'd like to hope it wasn't merely a dream. The Order of the Flaming Lance counts among its members both valiant knights and masters of the occult. We are about to test an experimental ritual they've developed. Should it all go according to plan, your party will have a serious advantage in the Battle of the Great Garrison. In these dark days, the most unlikely allies join forces to fight the common foe. All tieflings are treated with prejudice in Canabras, let alone the smugglers and thieves of their kind, and yet they're on our side, and I'll make sure their contribution is not forgotten after the victory. They'll be of little use in open combat, but they'll help you spot secret doors and warn you about traps. Alright. So we're not going to start the attack on the Great Garrison yet. And since I just talked for like 15 minutes straight, we're going to go do something else. We didn't really hardly get any loot for the attack on the Defender's Heart. So that kind of sucks, but it's fine. We are going to go out here. Looks a little better now that everything's, you know, not being attacked. So let's go ahead and go to our world map. Oh, there's all the loot. I was gonna say. Now that's more like it. 1,000 gold right off the bat. Okay, this. Yeah, this is my party. So we have a couple more things to wrap up. Excuse me. We have a couple more things to wrap up before we start the attack on the Defender's Heart. Bullshit is low. So where is irabeth's house? Is so far away, but I think we're gonna go there. It's gonna take 5 hours. Sheesh. But we never went there, and we're gonna evade those enemies since we spotted them. Because she wanted us to get some things for her and Anevia, and we like to see gay people thrive, so enter. Okay. The area exit. Oh, there's people.
Let's have some fun.
I didn't realize that. Whoops. I would have been a little more careful.
You've crossed the wrong monk.
6. And you only needed an 8. Okay, you can be forgiven. Crit for 32. Yeah, that's okay. Get him, Sela.
Take you. Cover me.
I need. That's what I'll do when I level her. I need to figure out why she's not doing 2-weapon fighting. It doesn't make any sense. Whoa.
Out of my sight.
Surrender or else.
Okay. Alright, land. Oh man. Is there another little guy somewhere?
Survive me.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Tila. 4.
Stab their backs.
See? Take a crit.
A terrible mistake.
Stab you or zap you.
I did, in fact, take a crit. That is...
See to your demise.
Oh, I should have healed. That is not what I meant.
Too late for apologies.
It's all your fault.
Oh, man.
Endure This.
Is she dead or death's door?
Into the fray.
Thank you, Sela. Holy shit.
The light take you.
Okay, let's do a little channel. She'll just have to be down. That's so annoying.
I'll hit you.
It's all your fault.
Make every strike count.
No glory without risk.
Bro. I don't really want to just keep using his channels if he's just gonna go down again right away, so I cast Molten Orb on him. Ember. Abandoned Flesh. Ew.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Thank you, Lan. It's about time.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Precision and grace.
I guess I could have healed Sela. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Dang, he had spell resistance that she couldn't overcome.
Will leave a bruise.
You won't survive me.
Much better. Okay. Darren, let's do a little healy. Do another. Then let's quick save. Okay, and then this
Careful now.
is their house. So we're gonna go in.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Something wrong.
Woljif can disarm it.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Are we in trouble yet? Endure this.
And then
Won't
Lance
let
can
you
shoot
hurt my
that guy.
friends.
Okay, we'll try that. Let me save again so I don't have to buff. Go in the house. Don't just spin around and waste everything.
Well, hello there. My tail is restless.
Disarm that Woljif.
This is my
And
kind
then
of work.
Tila.
Together we stand.
Always be ready for the worst.
I won't let
Aw,
you hurt
man.
my friends.
I was gonna try and have Fable sneak in. That's okay. Let's see. What is this? Yeah, we'll make Sela invisible too.
I'll try. Into the fray.
Why does she have concealment? You got. Oh, she almost failed at that time.
Cover me, all right?
Let's. I guess we'll have Land come back and just eat that.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Cover me.
An 18's crazy.
The light take you.
Do we have anything that will make Sela, like, give her haste or anything? I don't think so. Hmm.
Assist me.
Why did you crit on my healer? That was rude. Now you get a good healing or good saving throw.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Woldriff, why do you need a 20 to hit?
You won't survive me.
I don't know what that does. Sure. The succubus is definitely gonna have a good will save, but did I cast it on the ground just now? Okay.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay. Do a little heal on himself. Give Woldriff fortune.
Distract them from me.
Endure this.
Yes, thank you, Lan. God.
Stab their
Now, if we can just get the succubus, we'll be fine.
into the fray.
Sela. Girl. Get it together.
Time to
Come on,
share
would
your
ya?
treasures.
Or not.
Make every strike count.
Oh my god. Guys.
To your corpse.
Nothing but nothing. At least she missed, I guess.
Take you.
Thank you, Sela. We're gonna have Dayrin come back here. For sure.
Surrender or else.
That's okay, Ember.
Cover me, all right?
Woldriff, why do you need a 19 all of a sudden?
You
Thought you only
crossed the
needed like a
wrong
15.
line.
That's a little better. Sure, I'll use Light of the Angels. I never use that.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Out of my sight.
The sound of Sela's sword hitting is a very nice sound. Just
Too late for apologies.
good.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Woldriff.
You won't survive me.
Your death awaits. No glory without risk.
Sela. I didn't know Enlarged Person didn't last that long. I thought it was minutes. Maybe it's rounds. Whoops.
I'll hit you.
Distract them from me.
Endure this.
Cover me. The light take you.
Precision and grace.
You won't stop us.
Time to share your treasures.
That was tough. I didn't realize that there was a succubus in here. That was tricky for sure.
What's that glitter?
850 gold, diamond dust. The Crusaders, as seen by ordinary folk, and then Irabeth's letter. Irabeth's letter says, Anevia, if you're reading this, know that I'm alive, and I'm rallying a troop of survivors to rise up in the city's defense. We're going to fight our way to the Defender's Heart Tavern, set up our command there, and hold the line until help arrives. Or if the goddess wills it, we'll launch an attack on the Great Garrison. I love you, and I trust that we'll see each other again in this world. And they did. Right. Well, that was fucking awful. I'm glad I came here for a sword and a cloak. I guess I got 850 gold. Yeah, that wasn't great.
Always watch your back.
I gotta remember to loot the stuff outside too. I forgot. And then I don't think there's anything else over here. God forbid. Yeah, this is just an area exit and some more loot. So let's get those people and then this box. Okay, and now we can go ahead and go back to the map. So we went to Irabeth's house. I think we pretty much have gotten everything. So let me see. We can go to this failed ritual site. I think we're gonna, since it's like pretty much on the way back anyways. So we just got some ingredients. We visited all these places. We can go here. How does it take us 5 hours? How did that happen? Because it took us 5 hours to get from the Defender's Heart to Irabeth's house. Fine. Okay, now we failed to sneak past them, so we gotta fight. Fine.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
Oh, are you a bard? Hello? Yeah. What the heck?
Cover me, all right?
Well, that can't. I'm the only bard that's allowed to exist, so you're gonna have to go ahead and go.
The inheritor, guide my
Dang.
blade.
Stab their backs.
Make every strike count.
You guys are rolling so bad.
Surrender or else.
Truly.
Stab you or zap you?
That felt like a little bit of a waste of Woljif's turn, but it's fine.
Into the fray.
I'll loot your corpse.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Easy. Okay. Leaving again. Joy. It's fine. We're almost to the hanged cultist. Lovely. More ingredients. So we can go to this lost bag and then the wine cellar. And then I think that might be it. I'm gonna have to check before the next part, but I'm pretty sure we got all of the... That's fine. I'm pretty sure we've got all of the allies for the, like, attack on the Great Garrison already. Alright, the wine cellar, we're actually entering the location. So, we are taking a -2 to our dex and strength right now because we are getting tired. So I'm gonna save in case I don't want to do that. Let's see. I don't think I have any more invisibility potions, so what I'm gonna do.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Level 9, 96. What can you do? Okay, and what can you do? What's your AC? 17? Okay. Negative levels. So they're gonna do negative levels.
You won't survive.
Try it.
Retreat already?
This is like the 400th time I've done this.
Rely on me. Rely on me.
we
Something
rest,
wrong?
please? I'm tired.
Can we retreat already?
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Cover me, all right?
The light, take you!
You won't survive me.
Out of my sight!
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Cover me.
Tactical retreat! No?
Into the fray!
Endure this!
Surrender or else.
Distract them for me.
Stab their backs.
No glory without risk!
Make every strike count.
I will see to your demise.
I'll loot your corpse. A terrible mistake.
The light, take you!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Precision and grace.
Too late for apologies.
The Inheritor, guide my blade! Into the fray!
You won't survive me.
That was awful. Holy shit. Anyways. I don't even think there's anything in here, but I wanted to loot it anyways.
Can't
Okay.
hide from me.
We got a double axe. What were we supposed to do here? Or did someone
Always
just tell
watch
us
your
about
back.
it? I don't remember. Oh my lord. Anyways, that was tough. I don't think there's anything else for us to do over here. Let me... Oh,
Can we
there's
rest
some
now?
loot up there.
No? Shh. How about
Is that
now?
it? Oh, okay, okay. I was hitting Alt. My bad. That makes way more sense. I was like, there's nothing in here? Okay.
Careful now.
Anyways, that's definitely long enough for this part. I think in the next part we're gonna probably start the attack on the Great Garrison, but it'll most likely have to be in a couple different parts because it's a pretty long fight. But back to some combat after all talking last time, so a nice mix of the two in this one. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.